this interview that when I got back to Wandsworth from South America, the culture shock that I experienced. In Ecuador, every little piece of food was eaten, anything left on plates was eaten, and all the packaging and advertising for Christmas, because it was November when I came back, just constant bombardment of consumerism and capitalism. It was quite intense after coming from a third world country.
Yeah, I suppose, even though, but where I think one prison was better than another. The second one was worse than...
It all got gradually worse.
Yeah.
Ended up just
You've been unlucky, I've got to say that.
All went upside down.
It wasn't even... Look, really, that you could say normally the only advantage of being in a foreign prison where the country standards get low and people are poor is that you can buy food. You've got enough money to send the guard out. Like in Pakistan, they had somebody who regularly did the shopping.
Yeah, same in Ecuador and Quito.
But you were really unlucky that in some places you were at, that kind of routine system was broken down. That new one.
Yeah, in the new one, I was again saying earlier, there was nothing.
Basically, they were trying to run it on Western lines.
Yeah, but when we got transferred there, all of our possessions were taken off us. We were given a T-shirt, a pair of shorts, and a pair of flip-flops, and that was it. We weren't allowed to take in any of our possessions. In fact, we lost them all.
Yeah,
they were left exactly nothing. And we weren't allowed any visits. There was no mail system, and no phones. We weren't allowed pen or paper. There were no books, no radio, no magazines, no TV. I mean, absolutely nothing. You imagine the prison stripped bare.
Yeah. And
it's just been
an Ecuadorian prison at that.
And I mean, nothing. Just nothing.
What were the local animals like, and did the prisoners eat them?
Cockroaches.
Yeah. Guinea pig. I tried guinea pig.
You tried guinea pig?
Koi.
They caught the guinea pigs.
No, they used to breed them in there.
Oh, they breed them
fatten
to
them up.
eat?
Yeah. It's quite tasty, barbecue guinea pig. Any
like
kids
frog's
watching,
legs.
which I doubt there are, but yeah, it does. It's
Because
it's
they're
like a bit like chicken, a bit like something.
I mean, very little meat though. Once
Did you be
strip
surprised
it
when
down.
they fattened them up?
Oh, yeah.
What else did they breed to eat?
That was the weirdest thing. I remember coming out the first time I saw it, and came out into the exercise yard on a visit day, and they were grilling these things on the barbecue. And I came over and I saw it, and obviously you see the two front teeth, and I thought, that's a rat. Oh my God, things have got really bad in here now. We're grilling rats. And I said, please don't tell me it's a rat. And he said, no, it's a guinea pig, koi. And I was like, oh, and they made me eat some anyway. So it was actually quite tasty. And I was like, yeah, I'll fatten me a couple up.
I had
Guinea pig for Christmas.
Oddly enough, the only prison I ever ate wildlife in a sense was an Australian one, because we had a bet going that my bodyguard could not catch 2 pigeons at once. George was known to be very fast. He was a martial arts guy, a scarecrow really. He wasn't worth sixpence in a fight, but he looked the part, and he could do matches professionally. I think it was really on. But he had a fearsome reputation. In the communal refrigerator, his name was Zachariah. Every carton of milk in there had the name Zach written onto it. So never steal Zach's milk, you'll get in trouble. Anyway, but he waited for the pigeons to come, and snatch, got a hold of both of them.
Wow.
These are jailhouse pigeons,
Wow.
They
That's
moved
delicacy
quick.
in prison.
Yeah, they were a little chewy compared to some of the things I've eaten.
How were they cooked?
With the skin removed, because
difficulty. With a lighter.
Oh no, we'd stripped down a toaster and made a kind of griller out of it.
Okay. This is inside prison tricks.
Yeah. You think of
you
the
learn
things
you learn. You get creative.
Do you know how to make a electric kettle out of razor blades? Yeah. All you need to do is strip the wires back.
Make an element.
Yeah. Instead of an element, you hang one razor blade, the old-fashioned kind, that was like a postage stamp size, on one wire on positive and the other one on negative. Don't let them touch. Sprinkle just a grain or two of salt into your cup and lower it in there.
What does salt do?
It
Oh,
makes
it makes
the
it boil
conductance between the two elements, so you don't have to have them making any near contact to do it. In fact, the bubbles will keep them away from each other, if anything, so you're less likely to it. You know how I learned that the stupid way? I was in some big dormitory some places, not much, was I still in teens? Not far above it. About 60 people in the dormitory. And people would be getting up with a cup and sprinkling a couple of grains into a thing and coming away with a cup of coffee. I thought, well, that's got to be some strong instant coffee, that stuff. Just a pinch will do it. And I came away with just boiling hot water. So I did learn that that's all they had the coffee already in the pot.
Were you guys snatching birds?
No. Not that I remember anyway.
Did anyone ever have any pets?
I had a pet. I had a cat.
A cat?
Yeah.
How did that come about?
When I arrived in Guayaquil, there was, I remember a German friend of mine, another Peter, had sort of started looking after this female cat, and it had become pregnant, and I ended up taking over, basically. Just started feeding it, and it came into the cell and then just started living with this little black and white cat. Became my pet cat.
Was it stuck in the compound? I mean, if it wanted to, could it get in and out of the jail?
Not really, because of the walls. I mean, there were sort of cats tended to breed in there, I suppose living on the rats and stuff.
Yeah. I mean, there were, most places I've been there, there's been cat population.
It was actually good having a pet. It was,
it gave you something to feed and take care of.
Was there a happy ending for the pregnancy?
Oh, she used to get pregnant all the time, that cat. It was a little whore.
Sometimes by another
terrible. Honestly.
Not always.
I've never seen a cat.
What would happen with the offspring?
I used to fatten them up, but not eat them. No, I'd give them away to visitors.
To visitors?
Yeah. Try and get
so
rid
you're
of them.
constantly having to be sort of orphan manager for these cats.
But then, again, I fell out with one of the guys that was running the wing, and they took umbrage to this cat. And ended this after me having had it about 4 years, and came around with a bag one day, a sack, and said, "You have to get rid of the cat." And I said, "Well, if you want to get rid of it, you can grab her, because I'm not." And sure enough, that cat opened them up.
Opened him up?
Yeah, with his claws just went ballistic.
Its senses must have told it that these guys.
I mean, they got her and took her away. It was just sad, but I said, "Don't kill her, because I'll kill you if you do." So they just took her outside of the walls and put her outside. It's probably better off.
I guess so. The ones in Thailand were trapped by the moat. They couldn't swim over it. So they were kind of slightly the product of 200 years of incestuous breeding, I guess, amongst each other. A lot of them had very curly tails because it's good luck there.
Curly tails?
If the end of your cat's tail is curled in, it's a lucky cat. Yeah, very big in Thailand. I asked my friend why. He said, because it hooks things in for you.
Right.
Okay.
The moat was not able to restrain David, though. He was not trapped by the moat. And if you've not seen David describe how he escaped from death row in Thailand, it is one of the most breathtaking stories we've had on the channel.
Which interview is that?
I think it's in number 5 or...
Is it 5?
I haven't seen that yet.
I think it's in 5, because it was
There's
a
10,
long night.
and it's in number 5. The whole playlist is in the description box.
Yeah, it's somewhere in there. But then again, I wasn't a cat. On the other hand, the cat
either.
wasn't facing execution either, I suppose.
Were all your visits in your cell?
Yeah. Apart from in that last prison where they stopped all that, and you had to have it in a visit room, but they had cells for conjugal visits above the visit room area. But I in the last prison I didn't have any visits. Oh yeah, I did. I had a few.
Did you manage to get conjugal visits?
In Quito, I did. Yeah, it was good actually. We basically every 2 weeks, every other week on a Saturday, you could have your any female, basically girlfriend, wife, prostitute, whoever, come in on Saturday morning, stay overnight Saturday, leave Sunday evening. So it'd be the whole weekend.
Wow!
Who did the catering for that?
We did, because it was they'd stay in your cell with you.
Yeah. Oh right. Oh
yeah. So we were doing all
yeah.
around cooking and having food brought in at that point. This is early on. This is it. This is the good part of the sentence at the beginning, not the end.
That's a bad there.
So yeah.
How did you finesse that then? Where did the girlfriend come from?
I actually had a girl turn up from. Well, I was arrested in Ecclesfield with my girlfriend, my girlfriend at that time. Sorry.
See part 1 for that.
Yeah, but we, after she went back to England, that ended. So I ended up going out with quite a few Colombian girls, some Ecuadorians, and then we set up a tour guide of the prison based on, I don't know whether you've read Marching Powder.
Marching Powder?
Yeah. Well, we based it basically because that guy had been released, Rusty Young, whatever his name
Rusty Young, yeah.
Oh no, that was the guy that wrote it. He's the Australian. Yeah. I can't remember the guy's name.
No, I remember the guy's
Tanzanian,
name.
wasn't he?
Yeah. Lefty or something.
Oh my goodness.
So he'd been released anyway, and those visits are stopped in Bolivia or Peru or wherever he was. So we hit upon the idea, and a Scottish girl that was over studying criminology or something in Quito put up loads of flyers for us in the hostels and hotels, and it became really popular.
I can imagine.
So
what was the group composed of? Students or
there was
visitors?
a lot of backpackers. We would sometimes get groups of students coming in from. I remember a group of students from Edinburgh came in, and they'd heard about the lab getting busted in Edinburgh, and there's me. Says, "You're the same guy." I was like, "Yep." It was crazy, but we would say to them, just bring in some gifts, and I didn't smoke cigarettes, but they would invariably. I think they were allowed to bring in 2 packs of cigarettes each. So you can imagine some visit days, we'd have like 20 people, 20, 30 people turn up. And we had visits all day Wednesday, all day Saturday, and all day Sunday.
So you hooked up with a Scottish lass?
No, a girl from, I can't say where, but exactly, because it might cause repercussions for her, but somewhere up north. And she stayed around for 6 months. She was a model, beautiful. And yeah, had really good times. And
so where did she stay? At a hotel or somebody's
apartment? We rented an apartment for her.
Oh, okay.
And she had a couple of friends in Quito by that point anyway. So every other weekend, she would come and stay, and yeah, it was great. Spent the Christmas with me.
Go on.
Yeah.
What was the procedure for entering the prison for the visitors? How many searches? Sniffer dogs?
It was pretty lax, really. This is at the one in Quito, which is now closed, the old prison. So they would turn up there. It would take ages to get in, but there'd be a long row of visits. There was a police checkpoint first of all, where they would hand in their IDs and get us like a UV stamp or something, like invisible ink.
That's not like I can stay there after a long weekend, is it?
Huh? No, that's it. That's it. Yeah, because that was one of the escape ideas, was get a latex face made up and somehow replicate the stamp.
Okay.
But, see what I mean? Yeah, sort of. Not really.
Well, yeah, it just seems very difficult. Wouldn't the stamp just do it and a bit of drag makeup?
Some people have got out like that, but it was But the problem is, then you're left with the body in the prison.
Yeah, who's got to answer for it?
Yeah. So there was the first checkpoint where they left their IDs. Then they come up to the prison main entrance. They'd be searched by a guard, and then come in. I don't think they were dogs, but it was pretty lax.
So if you
they could bring in shopping.
If you had a model visiting you, then where people are very desperate, did that cause envy?
Well, no, I mean, because nearly everybody had a visit come in, and back in those days.
Why do you suppose it's so objectionable for particularly British prisons, and certainly most Western prisons, except for Scandinavia, where they have a whole room for conjugal? Yeah. Well, why? What do you suppose the mindset is that makes it? Oh, well, you can't possibly allow people's girlfriends or whatever to come.
I don't know. It's something I've always argued about in the British prison system, because I think it's barbaric, isn't it? Stopping people, if they're in a relationship, particularly if they're married.
Yeah,
and they get sentenced
really
to something petty, like for driving, get 18 months in the British prison. Suddenly they can't see their wives, get to see them maybe once a month for an hour, maybe behind glass. I mean, that's not going to do your relationship any good.
No,
how is that rehabilitating?
In Arizona, they would joke that she's going to leave for you for Sancho.
She was going to do what?
She's going to leave you for Sancho any day now, they would say.